Hello everyone. In today's video we will begin our review of basic operations. We will not be doing addition and subtraction in this video because I do not think that you need to be reminded how those are done. You will have them in your worksheets just to get some practice in, but I don't think you need to be reminded how they're done. So let's get started. We have 4,583 times 792. I need to begin by multiplying everything on top with a 2. So I'm going to say 2 times 3 makes 6. 2 times 8 makes 16. I'm going to write 6 and carry 1. 2 times 5 makes 10, plus 1 that I carried over makes 11. Write 1, carry 1. 2 times 4 makes 8, plus 1 that I carried over makes 9. Then I put a 0 beneath the ones, and only beneath the ones. And I begin multiplying everything with 9. 9 times 3 makes 27. That's 7, carry 2. 9 times 8 makes 72, plus 2 that I carried over makes 74. Write 4, carry 7. 9 times 5 makes 45, plus 7 that I carried over makes 42. Write 2, carry 4. 9 times 4 makes 36, plus 4 that I carried over makes 40. Wait, did I make a mistake here? 9 times 5 makes 45, plus 7 that I carried over. Yeah, I made a mistake here. I shouldn't. Okay, so let's try that again. Let's just start this row over from the beginning because I made a mistake. Sorry about that. We put 0 beneath the ones, and we start multiplying. 9 times 3, I've already returned this, so that's deleted. 9 times 3 makes 27. I write 7 and I carry 2. 9 times 8 makes 72, plus 2 that I carry over makes 74. I write 4 and I carry 7. 9 times 5 makes 45, plus 7 that I carried over makes 52. So I write 2 and I carry 5. And there was my mistake. I carried 4 instead of carrying 5. And then 9 times 4 makes 36, plus 5 that I carry over makes 41. All right. And then we put 2 zeros beneath the 1 and between beneath the 1s and the 10s. And I start multiplying everything on top with the 7. So we say 7 times 3 makes 21. Write 1, carry 2. 7 times 8 makes 56. Plus 2 that I carried over makes 58. Write 8, carry 5. 7 times 5 makes 35. Plus 5 makes 40. Write 0, carry 4. 7 times 4 makes 28. Plus 4 makes 32. And then I add all of this together. 6 and 0 makes 6. 6 and 7 and 0 makes 13. Write 3, carry 1. 1 and 4, 1 and 1 and 4 and 1 makes 7. 9 and 2 and 8 makes 19. Right, 9, carry 1. 1 and 1 and 0 makes 2. 4 and 2 makes 6. And then 3 and nothing makes nothing. 1, 2, 3 numbers dot. 1, 2, 3 numbers dot. So my result is 3,629,736. Let's move on to the division. Start off by asking, how many times does 4 fit into 7? And the answer is once. 1 times 4 makes 4. I subtract and I get 7 minus 4 makes 3. Carry down the 3. And then I start again. How many times does 4 fit into 33? Yeah, that would be 8. And immediately you should notice, you should remember actually, that to do long division you need to have, you need to know your timetables really well. So if you don't remember them, you should review them. By now, we should remember, for example, that 4 fits into 33 8 times, because 4 times 8 makes 32. So we say 33 minus 32 makes 1. We carry down the 2, 12. I say how many times does 4 fit into 12? The answer is 3 times. 3 times 4 makes 12. 12 minus 12 gets 0. Carry down the 5. 4 fits into 5 once. 1 times 4 gets me a 4. Let me say 5 minus 4 gets me a 1. Carry down the 6. And get 16. 4 fits into 16 4 times. 4 times 4 gets me a 16. 16 minus 16 gets me 0. This right here is a perfect division. Now, technically what that means is that it has no remainders. But what I mean right now is that there are no tricks to it, right? 4 fits into the first number, the first digit, just fine. There are no zeros inside my quotient or at its end. There's no tricks to it. And there is no remainder as well. But not all divisions are like that. So let's move on. Here we have 58,129 divided by 5. Start off by asking, does 5 fit into 5? Yes, it fits 1 time. 1 times 5 gets me 5. And 5 minus 5 gives me 0. Carry down the 8. And I say, does 5 fit into 8? And the answer is yes, it fits once. 1 times 5 gets me a 5. I say 8 minus 5 gets me 3. I carry down the 1. I get a 31 here. How many times is 5 fit into 31? The answer is 6. 6 times 5 makes 30. 31 minus 30 gets me a 1. Carry down the 2. We get a 12. And then we ask, does 5 fit into 12? And the answer is yes, it fits twice. 2 times 5 gets me a 10. And I do 12 minus 10, which gives me 2. Lastly, I carry down the 9. And here we get 29. And I say, does 5 fit into 29? Yes, it fits 5 times. 5 times 5 gives me 25. I subtract and I get 4. And then I go to carry down the next number. But there is no next number. So what do we do here? Here we say that our result is 11,625 with a remainder of 4. Because here we didn't get a perfect 0 like we did here. See, here at the bottom there's a 0. Here we got a 4. We have a remainder. That remainder is 4. So my result again, my quotient, my result of the division is 11,625 with a remainder of 4. Next up we have 17,583. So here you might immediately notice the problem that 7 does not fit into 1. And if you remember what we do when the divisor doesn't fit into the first number, what we do is we just consider the second digit to be part of the number we are dividing as well. So here we say, how many times does 7 fit into 17? The reason for that is, let's say we actually tried this. So how many times does 7 fit into 1? Well, 0. It doesn't. 0 times 7. I'm actually following the steps right now. 0 times 7 makes 0. And I would subtract 1 minus 0 makes 1. I would carry down the 7. And then I'd end up right where I told you we would be. How many times does 7 fit into 17? And the answer is 2. And I would continue then afterwards, right? I'd get my result. And then this 0 is completely useless in front of the number. I would delete it. I wouldn't leave it in front of there. I would erase it, right? So instead of doing all of that, what I am going to do is I'm going to say, oh, 7 doesn't fit into the first digit. Well, that's okay. I'll just consider the second digit to be part of the number I'm dividing as well. So I ask, how many times does 7 fit into 17? The answer is 2. I say 2 times 7 makes 14. Again, timetables of 7 here are going to be very important. 2 times 7 makes 14. 17 minus 14 makes 3. Carry down the 5. We get 35. And we say, how many times does 7 fit into 35? And the answer is 5. 5 times 7 makes 35. Subtract. 35 minus 35 gives me 0. Carry down the 8. And I ask, how many times does 7 fit into 8? And the answer is once. 1 times 7 gives me 7. 8 minus 7 gives 1. Carry down the 3. And we ask, how many times does 7 fit into 13? Well, once. 1 times 7 makes 7. 13 minus 7 makes 6. And I have no other number to carry down. So again, there is the division is over with a quotient of 2,511 and a remainder of 6. Because I didn't get a 0 down here, we do have a remainder. It is 6. Next up, let's see what problem this division is going to have. Here we have 42,177 divided by 3. We ask, does 3 fit into 4? Yes, it does. Fits once. 1 times 3 makes 3. Let's say 4 minus 3 makes 1. Carry down the 2. We get 12. 3 fits into 12 4 times. 4 times 3 makes 12. 12 minus 12 gets me 0. Carry down the 1, and here is where my problem comes in. 3 does not fit into 1. So what to do? It's basically the same thing as what happens here, but here the 0 that I placed does play a role because it's not in front of the number. It's not here, for example. It's in the middle of the number. It does play a role. So here what I need to do is I need to put a 0 in and then carry down the next digit. Carry down the 7. Again, 17. Let's explain this. Why does this happen? I ask, how many times does 3 fit into 1? And the answer is 0. So 0 times 3 makes 0, like before. 1 minus 0 makes 1. And I'd carry down the 7. And then I'd ask, how many times does 3 fit into 17? But that's where I was before. Remember when I pulled down the 7 here? That's where we were before. So I can avoid most of this by saying, oh, 3 doesn't fit into 1. and I'm in the middle of the division. Okay, well, I'm just going to write a 0 here, and I'm going to carry down the next digit. I'm going to carry down the 7. And then I ask again, how many times does 3 fit into 17? And the answer to that is that it fits 5 times. 5 times 3 makes 15. See, I just continue. So again, what did I do? I said, oh, 3 doesn't fit into 1. I wrote 0 and I carried down the next digit and asked again, how many times does it fit? 17 minus 15 gives me 2. Carry down the 7 and I get 27. And 3 fits into 27 9 times. 9 times 20 times 3 makes 27. And I get 27 minus 27, which makes 0. So here our result is 14,059 with no remainder. See, the difference here was this 0 in the middle of the number, right? So again, your divisor doesn't fit into a number in the middle of the division. Just write a 0 in your quotient and pull down the next number and ask again. Last case. Here we say 9 does not fit into 6, just like before. So I ask, how many times does 9 fit into 65? The answer is 7 times. Timetables again. 7 times 9 makes 63. 65 minus 63 makes 2. Carry down the 1. 9 goes into 21 2 times. 2 times 9 makes 18, right? 21 minus 18 gives me 3. Carry down the 6. Get a 36. 9 goes into 36 4 times. Exactly 4 times. 4 times 9 makes 36. 36 minus 36 gives us 0. And here's our problem. We carry down the 7. And then you might think, okay, well, it's over, right? Because 9 doesn't fit into 7. Well, no. Because if you remember correctly, we have said that the exercise is over only when you try to carry a number down and you cannot do that. I just carried down the 7, which means I need to do the whole cycle again. So I need to ask, how many times does 9 fit into 7? The answer is 0. It does not. 0 times 9 makes 0. 7 minus 0 makes 7. Now, after subtracting, I go to carry down another number, and I can't. There is no other number, so now my division is over. The difference between these two, what we just did, is this 0. And if you don't do that last part, you are going to get an incorrect answer, because if you had not put in this 0, then you would have just gotten 724 with a remainder of 7. But then if you multiply 724, normally multiplying your divisor and your quotient should give you your dividend. So here, if I multiply 7,240 with 9, and then to whatever I find I add the remainder, so 7, I'm going to get 65,167. But if I had just left this as 724, multiplied it by 9, what I would have gotten is 6, and then 1, and then even if I add this 7, right? I add 7 to this, I would have gotten 6,523, which is definitely not this. You might notice that this is basically this part. So if I were to add a 0, let's say, which would have given this a 0, and then I added 7, then I would have gotten 65,167 like I'm supposed to, right? So this is a very important step. You need to remember that, okay, the exercise is over only when I try to carry down a number and I can't. If you just carry the number down, you need to do the whole cycle again. So that'll be all for today. Tomorrow we will be practicing with 2 and 3 digit divisors. I will see you in that video.